And then that leaves us to figure out what the next thing we're going to work on. There's actually a lot of like different things that we can try. Like we can go for another game again. I've actually been like thinking about different games that I could make that actually would be fun and playable. Multiplayer is something that I want to learn a lot. So that would be the networking aspect of things. Like I've created like web servers in Rust, but I've never actually done any kind of like multiplayer stuff. So there's that would be really interesting. So let's actually start collecting these as ideas. So we're gonna do our chooser collector, and it's gonna be interactive mode. So collecting choices interactively. With this, I'm gonna do basically learning networking. So learn multiplayer networking. I don't know if I like need a specific color for this. Let's just start with like 1 1 0 0 0 0. Okay. What else could I do? And if you have ideas like what you'd love to see, put them in chat too, and I'll enter them in. I'm gonna look through my list of things, because I think those would be. I have some ideas in here. What? Why did you fail? Do you have a timeout? Is there a timeout in here? A mini game engine. What do you mean by that, Danny? I do. Oh, there is a problem here. Just a series of mini games like MarioWare, or sorry, WarioWare. Wait a second, I don't think I know WarioWare. So sort of like lots of little random mini games. Is that sort of like the mini games from Mario Party? A simple engine for point and click adventure games. Tons of tiny games you have to complete in like 3 to 5 seconds. Oh wow. I don't think I'm ready for that yet. Like creating engines, I don't have the confidence yet to do that. It does sound really interesting though. Now, are these games made by other people, or are they made by like the developers and that's just it? You just get all these different games together and you just get what you get. Whichever. Interesting. Okay. Oh, Mega Microgames can 213 microgames split over 9 stages, each with different themes and following the story of different characters. Wow. Okay. So that's interesting. I do, so there is something that's interesting, like there's a piece of that, and maybe like not the full part of that, but I do want to build like a level editor, like understand how to build a level editor for like a very simple type of game. So it's similar to this, but not exactly the same thing. A tile-based one, probably, yeah, probably like a tile-based one or like a coordinate-based one. So like, let's say it's an infinite runner, or I guess maybe not infinite runner, but like a platformer. So I can like place in like, here's where this platform is going to be, here's where this platform is going to be, and then I can like click and choose, and it builds out like the JSON file or whatever of what the level is going to look like. So I think that would be really, really nice to build and like learn how to do that. So that'd be like a level editor. The problem that we've run into here that we just discovered is game dev tools are always cool, good projects. I can imagine. This, I want to say that is this a problem where we can't wait forever? The channel closed. Why did the channel close? Am I listening to Twitch chat when I don't want? I'm listening to Twitch chat when I don't want to. Is that what happened? Chooser collector. In main. Yeah, look at this. We're spawning in to do this. But I only want to do this if we're actually running the Twitch chat. Where are we getting arguments? Is arguments loading in main library? It is. It is. Okay, so I think we're doing this wrong here. So we're getting arguments new. If in Twitch mode, that's what I want to initialize the Twitch stuff. Like, I kind of don't want to do this here. I kind of want to like remove you. We don't have you at all. Come back into here. Don't get you, but instead, if we're in Twitch mode, do you. Oh, wait, what are you doing? Hey, you can't figure this out? Oh, import channel. There we go. Import, and then you're just that kind of channel. And then spawn. Import you. Okay, then send to Twitch. Is send to chat becomes send to Twitch. Do you work as expected now? Cargo run -t test. I think it did. So if I do a bang here, totally forgot that it's now doing 60 seconds. We gotta wait for a long time. I'm gonna take this choices. Okay, choices JSON is empty right now, so it's gonna fill up. with what we expect it to at the end. So, all right. I think that was enough to fix the problem. It's not trying to create this unless we're in interactive. It's amazing. 1 minute seems so short until you're like actually just sitting here waiting for 1 minute to go by, and then even seconds are long. Also, I have no feedback on where we are. Okay, there we go. So now choices at JSON, perfect, it came in. And so if I just do interactive mode, cargo run, and I just sit here and we wait for a while, I think it should be fine. I think everything should be fine now. So I'm going to rebuild this on release. You know what? Let's get rid of some of these warnings while we're here. So we don't need you. Don't need you or this chat message anymore in main. You're checking choices, so I don't need you to check that. Me, you're an unknown word, so add me to just the workspace. All right. You're still running, so that's a good sign. Then I already pushed you up, didn't I? Yeah, I did. We're just gonna say we fixed crashing problem with Twitch chat during interactive mode. Okay, so then back to here. You should be fine now. So I want to copy item. Okay, so this is going to be target release choose a collector exe, and I want to go to, is there such thing as like that? Kind of. There kind of is. So this is gonna be our desktop drop there. Oh, you're upset. The process cannot access the file because it's being used by another process. Okay, so you're not using you there. Okay, how about this? Okay, it's this last one, right? Choose a collector. Who else is using you? You're not being used. You're not being used. Neither of you are being using it. You're not using it. And you're not using it. Which one is it? The current one that is caring about? Can I just remove this? Oh, unauthorized access. Okay, so apparently I can't delete it through the command line. That's cool. So in here, chooser collector, and then collect Twitch users Both those need to go away. The file is open. The file is open. How am I opening that? That's not... Okay, how about I just quit all of my VS Codes? Wait a second. I have 2 PowerShells? Oh, that was it. It was open by this PowerShell. I had another okay. That was my problem. There we go. There we go. So now, if I come back into here, we have our chooser collector. I double click you, and then this should just remain up for us now. Although this isn't that big, so we're gonna do this one here because I can make this bigger. It's gonna be our chooser collector. Okay, so our choices for this. What was the first one? I forgot already. It was the networking. So like Rust game networking. Sort of like exploring that. All right, so there's that one. Then the other one is like I'm thinking like a game. It was a game design, like not game design, but like the map builder. So, or like a level builder for games. Maybe like level builder for a like platforming game, like a super simple one. Let's do like 0 0 1 1 0 0. Let's see, what else do we have in here? Let's see. So if I want to do something like a Who to Raid app, which it's something that I would love to do. So, a prerequisite for that, is to have like the Twitch chat, but also listen to Twitch events. So basically recreate Twitch chat. So Twitch chat v2 with events. The reason for that is Twitch chat API doesn't listen to events. I need 2 of them. So basically it would be an app that listens to both chat and events at the same time. And then that would allow me to build all sorts of like cool things, and maybe even listen to channel points too, which would be really nice. Let's see. There's that one. Part of the game, sort of like the level builder, I want to learn how to like do world versus pixel coordinates. It's something that like I've struggled a lot with, is how to know where, we have a small world here, and then we have like a big world. Like we have the screen, we have the big world. And so far everything is done based on like the screen coordinates, and that's not necessarily true, but I'm not exactly sure where to start with that. Game cameras, like I keep on going back and forth. Like I almost know how to deal with that. Then at the very last second, I don't know how to deal with that. There was a tutorials that I was gonna make for different game architectures. Let's do that. So, different game architectures tutorial series. So let's jump up to like 111100. What I mean by that is here's the choice you can do: super object oriented style, where we have like structs for everything, and then there's like a halfway between where we can still use like very struct heavy and like all the data is like in various structs, but we still use systems. So it's like hybrid between an ECS and a another system, and then of course ECS. So take like what we learned to like here's how to do like, you know, ECS stuff. And is there anything else in here? I guess like a game to sort of like pull together and use some of the stuff that we've learned is just to make another full game. I'm thinking Canyon Bomber is one that's like a very old arcadey style game. So Canyon Bomber arcade game. Don't necessarily know if there's anything else in here. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for these sort of like choices. There are some other requests for like going through books and other things. I think I'm going to save those for my sort of like my nighttime stuff. I'm doing after work. I'm going through like Nature of Code, going through like actual books and doing those exercises. I think those are best for off-stream videos, so I'm gonna keep them for that. Is there any other like simulations or games that like might be interesting to do? Maybe like the starting soon screen, like revamping that. I've been thinking about doing one that actually includes a how long until the screen. Ray Tracer in a weekend. That I've heard of that. I've heard of that book. That does seem like it could be fun. The other book that I've read that or I've heard that is pretty good is what is it called? It's the roguelike. The roguelike in a roguelike in Rust. But I think it's being rewritten now. So I kind of want to like hold off on that. Dota 2 Attitude, hello! So I'm gonna write in ray tracing in a weekend. All right, so we have a couple of these ideas in here. All of these ideas are like pretty fun for me, I think. You wrote documentation for your code, gross. I'm sorry. A multiplayer Bomberman game. So the game networking is like step one, right? I need to learn multiplayer before I can deal with like before I can do that. But I agree, that would be pretty cool. Your preferred coding method is code it all and make it impossible to follow as a result. I suppose that is a way. That is a way. Let's see. What else do I want to do with these? You know, something that I've been meaning to like learn is what GUI, like explore GUI. So explore GUI options with Rust. I know there's not too many out there, but it might be interesting to sort of take a look at. So I think next one would be that. Specifically for like our chooser collector, like adding in some kind of GUI there would be pretty cool. And then I think that's pretty much it. Everything else is like following tutorials, which I think is the off-stream stuff. So project-wise, don't know if there's anything else that I want to do. Maybe a new... Yeah, I think that's it before I can go on to like, well, you know what? A who to rate app, but I think I need I need to track who's rating us. So I think this will be it. So I'm going to take you. So here is now our choices have been created. So now we can run this and see what our next project is going to be. Level builder is, I think I need level builder before I do like a more complicated platforming game. So yeah, let's do this. Let's find out what we're building. Oh, they're all really dark because I did 0011. Oh, that's too bad. You know what I can do? Before we do that, let's update these colors. Traces, open you with, here, let's open you with VS Code. So yeah, let's just make these all brighter. I think that's good. There we go. Now it's gonna be easy. We don't know what those, well, okay. I guess we do know what those are because you can look at what our choices are for this. So with that, let's release them. Find out what we're doing next. And then we can do a little bit of planning today before the end of the stream, and then we can start proper tomorrow. No matter what this wins, I want to start doing like proper setting up GitHub actions for just all of the projects. I think that would help out a lot. I think so. It looks like yellow's gonna win, but red's pretty close. Oh no, red's gonna win now. Unless green has some kind of, gets down there really fast. Oh, and it did. Green got down there. So a level builder for a platforming game. Oh, that actually could be, so this could be really pretty fun. Level builder for a platforming game. Let's go ahead and close all of this stuff out. Now, I don't, I think from reading a lot of like other tooling for like game development and like watching GDC talks, I think that the level builders need to be like unique per type of game, right? Like I don't think I can make like one level builder for like every type of game I would do. Like here's a platforming game, here's a like what are those types of games where you're like flying to the bottom, everything's sort of coming towards you? Bullet hell games. Yeah, like that's gonna be very different. Like a roguelike, a bullet hell, a Those are like the level builders for all is going to be very, very different. So platform game. Let's see, that's actually new. I don't remember what my okay, what are you? Oh, you're this. So we're gonna create freehand document. This is gonna be a platform level builder. So what am I thinking of? Like, well, I'm thinking of just something like Mario, like Super Mario Brothers, Donkey Kong, I guess, like is a platformer too. Like but I'm thinking one where the camera follows it, so the level I have to build is bigger than what the camera can see. So if we were to look at like the level like this, so this is like the full level. Then we'd have what the camera can see, which might be something like this. If you want to look at prior art, Tiled is a good general purpose level editor. Ooh, okay, so Tiled. I think I've heard of Tiled. Would it work with okay, so that's pretty cool. So you just create a bunch of tiles. So it breaks everything up into here. It can create like top down and like side scrolling. How much does it cost? Oh, it's open source. Oh, it's free. Okay. So that could be interesting. So let's come back in here. Look at sort of like ways that we can we can build this. So how to build. We could use stickies for that. So tiled is one. No, that's too small. I'm just gonna use text. So we have tiled. Obviously, just like custom built. What kind of license? Good question. What kind of license do you have? GPL and BSD, it looks like. But tiled itself is GPL. But yeah, it looks like it's dualed. Like it depends upon which part of it you're using. Yeah, I don't know what BSD is. GPL, I think you're right. If we look at GPL license. A quick guide. The freedom to use the software for any purpose. The freedom to change the software and to share it and to share the changes. Pretty much to do whatever you want. But the derivatives also need to be open source. Yes, that's true. I won't have a problem there. I am not closed sourcing this. So we'll be fine there. Okay, so our choices here. Tiled, custom. The idea here is like we have our camera. The camera is going to be able to move back and forth with our player. So we can have our... oh, they have pills now. Interesting. Have our... Here's our player. I have to label that because nobody will know what that means. So our player, the camera is always like following this player. Then I want to be able to create platforms that the player will have to like jump over, right? So if I want the player to be able to jump like up tall like this, something like that. We might have like more interesting... You can also have like a floor here. So that way certain sections of it won't exist as floor. Maybe we'll do something like that. So you can fall down to your death. We need some kind of like flag or like where we're going for. So this might be like the finish. We're gonna want some kind of enemies. Is this drawing interface also something you'd want in the internet editor? I guess like, maybe, I don't know. It's like, this might be an enemy, for example. So enemy or like some other obstacle and it moves around. I'm okay with like this one just having like one enemy to begin with, maybe two, that we can like drop in. But yeah, that's sort of like what I want to do is I want to create a level editor in which we can say like, okay, the player starts here. It's like, this is where they start. These are all like platforms that they can jump on. Or they run up against, they can't move through. If they, here's like a pit where they die if they fall through it. We can have enemies of some kind. Could be, let's see, let's think about like enemies. Enemies here might be like actual like creatures. So creatures, think like the Goombas. It could also be spikes. And we have like the pits. I guess that's not really an enemy. But like the things that if you touch them, you die would be other creatures and spikes. I probably also want like collectibles. So like something you can break to then to collect. So that might be this could be a collectible. Rusty coins, yeah. So So then the collectibles. So these could be like coins. We can do like coins for right now. Coins is probably makes the most sense. It's like we can just like put them all over the place. Then you have to go and find them. So in this case, they like might be little tiny ones. And they go everywhere. It's like you then just put them all over the place. Okay. And so clearly, if I was to try to put this into like just a JSON object that I create by hand, this is actually gonna be really hard, right? For me to say like, okay, I want a platform with like these holes and these specific spots. I then play through the level and I'm like, well, I want to make a little tiny change to it. I want to move this like there. That kind of sucks if I was to do that by hand. In a level editor, that's where just coming into this separate program, tweaking it, hit save, would be really nice. Which means that I need some buttons sort of like to control this. Everyone loves buttons with like rounded edges, right? So we're gonna want something like we will to give it like a name. And to save it. So that would be some kind of like interface where we can say, okay, here's our name, here's our save, here's where we start. This would allow us to create like vertical levels, horizontal levels, something like that. It's just going to be a platform. And I'm not going to focus too much on like the gameplay itself, but if we want to think about what the gameplay is, we can move left, we can move right, we can jump. And that's like what we as a player can do, is like, that's all the movements. If we think about like Super Mario Brothers, that's pretty much all we could do. There was some like hit the button to like fire, or we could run faster. But since I'm focusing on the level editor aspect of it, I think just move left, move right, jump is all I really need for this specific game. So let's say I want to make like multiple levels. I want to be able to name the level and save the level and then move on to the next one. So we want like a blank level. I can then throw these elements in here. I want to be able to give it what the size is. So like how long the level is. And then I'm okay with just like very simple elements here. But the enemies, we're gonna have some enemies that are like maybe just like the move back and forth ones. So what do you all think? Any other like features that we need in here before I get like a list of like requirements for this? Like to draw it out. We probably can use RECS for this too, because I don't think we need the power of Rapier for this one. So I'm gonna start drawing out like how this is gonna look. Like this might be like an example level, but our editor, sounds like it might be blurring a bit between game engine and level editor. Is that true? Okay, so I guess yeah. Let me explore that a little bit. So the game engine, even if I use GGEZ as the game engine, I need people to know like where to draw things, like what's collidable and not. So I would be able to say like, okay, objects like this is collidable, this is collidable, like this is a player object and this is where they start. And then the game engine plays it, or like the programming that goes into that plays it. Yeah, those descriptions are needed. So the level editor is to create the files necessary. It's like the config, basically the level editor in my mind creates the config and then the level files that will be loaded by the game engine to play the game. So we'll be doing two things. We'll be creating an engine to play this and a level editor to describe what the level is like to the editor. So yeah, there's two sides to this. We have the engine and we have the level editor. So for the level editor, I know I didn't make these the same size, I'm sorry. Unity does the thing where you're modifying the level in the engine and can hit play at any time. They have an editor built into their engine, for example. So this is a great question. Do we want the level editor to be integrated into the game itself? How do you just place things in places and describe them, but you can't play or do physics or anything? Right. So that is a good question. Am I going to be building this level editor inside of the engine? So GGEZ, for example, is an engine. It's a game engine, but it doesn't provide anything for us. We could put a level editor inside of GGEZ for ourselves. And that would be sort of like building an engine on top of an engine. Is that an accurate like sort of description of what I would need to do? Is we have GGEZ, I would build my engine on top of that engine. It just sort of like uses GGEZ behind the scenes. And then the level editor would go inside of that, essentially. Yeah, a lot of indie games have level editors built into their games. Okay, so that makes sense too. So what would happen in this case is that we'd have different states, right? Where we're in here, I'm in level editor. None of those approaches are wrong. Yeah, it's just choices we have to make, right? If I make it separate, then I have to like leave out, go play around with this level editor, save, and then open up the game and play that, and it loads up the levels. Or I load up the game and the levels, and then I can hit edit if I'm in like debug mode. Where then I can like create the levels from this. We hit save, and then there can be like, I don't know, let's just say like a play button here. You like building the idea of building an editor into the game itself? It does seem pretty nice. So I can have like play here, which would allow me to then play this level. If I get to the end, then I guess like there's state management here, right? We have to know what state we're in. Also, I need to be able to zoom way out, because like the big thing is if I'm trying to build this level, but I can only see like, let's imagine I can zoom in. So let's say here, this is my only view of it. It's really hard for me to like, okay, now let's move to the right, draw this more, move to the right, draw this more. It's kind of gonna suck. I would want to be able to zoom way out, see the entire level on one screen, and then click to go. So we're gonna have to have like the ability to zoom too. So let's figure out what our requirements are. We'll do green for this. Requirements. Pull this over here. Okay, so to begin with, the level editor, Mario Map Maker is probably one of the ultimate examples of in-game map editors. You know, I've never played any of the Mario Maker games. I've watched other people play them, but I don't think I've ever like seen the interface of like how to get into it. So level editor is in the game engine itself. So what that means is like you can start playing the game and then switch over to playing this. So I think we're gonna just right away, we're gonna create like a super simple one, like version 1.0, super simple. Do I even want to have images, or can everything just be like really simple, like shapes? Like I might be able to get away with that to begin with. Although having like the running animations would be really nice. That would be really nice. So maybe having that would be good too. Okay, level editor is in the game engine itself. Now, how would we go into this? We probably want to do a little bit of exploration for like the looking like each screen. So let's say I were to have like, we have like the game splash screen. Then we'd have something like play. But then we'd also have something like edit levels. You know, something else that I noticed from like a lot of these type of games nowadays, not necessarily like the original one of these games, is we can have like play. It can be like there's always like a config or settings, like play and end settings. I don't know if there's like, sometimes you might have like an about. But if we have a settings, sorry, if you have a play, say like play, and this really is more of these. So maybe we do like these as blue. We then set you as like level 1. Then you are level 2 and level 3. And you beat the game when they're all unlocked. But when you're playing, you only have access to like the ones you've actually done, right? So you have to beat all of level 1 before level 2 unlocks. And so I don't have like a lock button, like a lock icon here, but we can make one really quickly. So lock. What does that lock look like? Oh, I think I have to do the other one first. We do like a pill. Like that. And then before we do That's not helpful. No alpha. It's not really a lock. There's a lock. I want that, but I don't have access to that. So if I do this, let's group them. It's like we have you are all locked. But if we're in edit mode, I would need to potentially have like a new button down here to like create new levels in each of these, and then like an edit that goes into each of these. We probably also want a delete too. Delete's always red. It's the dangerous one. We'd also want like the ability to create new levels. Like maybe this goes over to over here. Maybe what we have, instead of edit next to each one of these, we'd have an edit at the top right. We'd still need to delete for each of these. So then the idea is if we're in edit mode, then the delete pops up and then I can click on something and we just start editing that level. So we'd also want to be able to create a new, so this would create a new sub-level in the full level. Oh, these are worlds. These are levels and these are worlds. That's what it is. These are like world 1. World 2, World 3, and so then this one would be, this creates a new level, and then this is, we'd probably want to just have another one of these pluses up here to create a new world. And once we create a new world, then we can create new levels in that world. So play goes down to here. Like that. Obviously we'd have like settings and about, which would be the ability for us to like set whatever our settings are for playing the game. Let's see. We click on one of these and this takes us to here to then start playing or edit this level. I think that would be it. Is there anything else that I'm missing from like how this is going to look from like the graphical side? The level editor itself. So how do I know where to place these things? I'm gonna have to have, it's gonna have to be slightly different than this. This is like after it's already created, so we don't have any of these. So we would need, so let's say we have this as our screen size. I would almost think that we need a portion of the screen here to then have the elements that we can add to the level. So we can have something like level name. Then we're gonna have to give it like the double name. We're also gonna have to care about the world that this is in. If I like need to insert it in between these, like, okay, we have 1 1 1 2. Oh, now the previous one goes like in front of this. So what order do they go in? So I don't know if I want to call this like 1 1 in here, but I'm gonna have to find some way to say, oh, you go above this one but below that one. World, then we're gonna have to have like the game elements. So elements that we can add. So there'll be things like this player. So I have like the player, we'll have like collectibles. So they need to be like in graphical form so that I think for right now, instead of like dealing with drag, because I think that is probably going to be a little bit more difficult for me to do, especially with something like GGEZ. Just click on it, it highlights, and then click over here and it creates. We're also going to need the size. So we're going to want the width and the height. Width and height. What else do we care about this? I don't know about anything else right now. I'm not going to have too many things. I can probably just like keep them like this over on the right. We click on it and then we can place it over here. So then we can have like potentially everything will have to have a label. So like floor. So click on you, put you in down here. Now, how do I make that like all along the surface? Do I want to do something where I just like have a grid and I just click, 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 and it figures it out? Or do I want like click and drag to then create the floor for that? That might be, I mean, it's going to be a better experience as the level builder to click and drag to create the floor. So then the idea here is we've created this thing. We're going to want like a start and a finish. It's probably just going to be start, finish. Probably going to look very similar. We have floors. We probably have like a wall. What if I just have like a block? Yeah, what if I just do like the floor is always there. And then we have like an empty block, and then we have like an actual block to that you can just be on. That might make more sense. So instead of like a floor, we say that we always have a floor here. Maybe it'd be like a standard block's thickness. But we have this here, and you're not a floor, you're a block. And then we can have even an kind of like strange, but we can have like maybe an empty space. It's like we can have a gap. Click on this, click right there, and then it creates a gap right in this floor. And that's because we always have more floor than gaps. Maybe. And then that way I can click on this block and go click, 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 and to create one right here. So this is going to give us a line. So we click on U, let's say U to here. Oh, I got the lines backwards for these other ones too. Oops. I want you to be like that. So requirements, the level editor is in the game engine itself. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna have this play screen that displays all of the. So these are gonna essentially be like user stories. There's probably gonna be a lot of these. So let's just write them as a player. So as a player, I want to see the splash screen when I launch the game. As a player, I want to set the game settings. As a player, I want to play. I want to see what levels I can play. As a player, so this is as a level editor. I want to create a new world. So if we can create a world, I want to be able to delete a world. I want to, what? No, this is delete. Delete a world. I want to create a new world. Let's see, after this one, I want to create a new level. level in a world. Okay, so I want to create a new level in the world. I want to edit that level. I want to edit a level in the world. Well, that's I mean, this is going to be pretty huge. That's pretty much an epic. So as we're editing, so as a level editor, I want to set the level's details. I want to add and like we can make these as small as I want. I might want to like go back through here and like make these smaller user stories. Like I want to be able to edit the level name. I want to be able to edit the level, like the world, like which world this is part of. I want to, you know, put it the order that it is. As level editor, I want to add I want to like add a player. So add like the start area, the start spot, the end spot, I want to add it's like add the floor. And so as we do each of those, we should be able to like then play through, just run past it and get there. So there's a lot of stories that I don't have in here yet. I don't know how many of these I want to do like immediately, like to create right away, or if I want to like save them for later. But this I think is going to be our biggest thing that we built yet, but I think it's also going to be really exciting for us to do. So I'm looking forward to sort of building this. I'm going to think a little bit more about like what I want to do as like how do I want to look. I think this is also going to be like more of a learning stuff and like not something I expect to be able to like sell or have anybody play. So I'm not planning on making it look gorgeous, but I do want to like look good enough that as you're watching it, it's interesting to see. So I'm going to figure out maybe a little bit more what this will look like. And maybe we can create like a game design document that's a little bit better than this specifically right now. And then, because I don't want to get into programming it too fast, because if we do that, then we'll end up like going in a wrong direction for that. It is almost 12 o'clock, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time thinking about this the rest of the day. But tomorrow morning, I don't think we're going to be working on programming it yet. Maybe still a little bit more planning for it. And then who knows, like sometime this next week, we're definitely going to get started on programming. I just want to make sure I give myself the best chance for success with this before we end up doing that. So with that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it for a day right now. I'm really excited about this next project. And if you're excited for this, if you want to follow along and sort of like see as I'm going, I am archiving all these videos to YouTube. And then I'm also, I'm also putting, let's see, I'm live every weekday morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, and then on Sundays. So if you want to get notifications for when I am live, absolutely, please follow me here on Twitch, or you can follow on YouTube for the static after they go live videos. I'm hoping that it goes well, Epic Blarg. I think that doing this is gonna level up my skills again. One even more than the ECS library thing. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think this will also help, like when we eventually get to multiplayer, having the ability to do complicated games like this. And this isn't even complicated. This is just complicated in my mind. So I agree. I think this is gonna be interesting. Of course, ask me when we're like halfway through and we're in that sort of like nothing works state, and we'll see how that is. All right, everybody. I'm gonna head off, go grab lunch, think a little bit more on this. I hope that you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.